Hello everybody, just going to be going through some more questions, this time just calculating the area. Now for question number 1A that we've got there, you've got to think of this parallelogram or rhombus, you've got to look at it more so as it's just a rectangle that's just a little bit crooked. And if you actually had it straight, so if you were able to sort of push this top part, which I'll highlight now, if you were able to push this top line across to the side, a little bit to the side, about this much to the side, then that one would go this much to the side as well, and it would actually be a perfect rectangle. And that perfect rectangle, aside from my terrible lines that I've done, that would actually be 92 millimeters high and 120 millimeters across. So if you multiplied those two numbers, you will end up getting your correct answer. 92 times 120 millimeters will give you 11040. So 92 multiplied by 120 will get you 11040 millimeters squared. That would be the answer for that one. When it comes to B, you just need to do pi r squared. That is the formula for area of a circle, and your r, your radius, halfway from one spot, one edge of the circle to the other through the center, is 2.7. So you just would need to do pi times 2.7 squared. Pi times 2.7 squared will end up getting you 22.902. And because it has to round to two decimal places, that 2 is less than 5. So we just keep it as 92.90, and that will be meters squared. Now for C, I have something a little bit interesting to show. It is very similar to what we had in A, but you've got two different values. And while you think that you should really therefore just think of that crooked rectangle example that we looked earlier and say it's 180 times by 100, I copied that file and I'll put it into a Word document. I straightened it up, the base, that way you can see it in line with this line. And as you can actually see, the 90 millimeters is actually the height. So it's actually 90 millimeters tall. It's still going to be 180 across. So you're going to have to do 90 times 180, 90 times 180, and that will get you your answer of 16. 200. 200, and that is millimeters squared. Okay, for D, we can again use pi r squared as we normally would. So pi r squared with r being half of this, because this is the diameter from one side to the other. We only need half of that. Half of it will be 16. And then, so you've just got to do pi times 16 squared. Put that in your calculator, and you'll have your right answer. Pi times 16 squared, and that will get you 804.247. 247. Which, because the 7 is 5 or above, that means that you have to round that up to 25. That is centimeters squared. Now, for E, it's a semicircle, so half of a circle. So the area formula that you would use would be the same as for a circle, but you just got to half it. So instead of it being pi r squared would get you a whole circle, you can just do half pi r squared. Your r will be 7 centimeters, so it'll be half times pi times 7 squared. Half times pi times 7 squared. And it should get you 76.969, which will round up to 76.97. And that is centimeters squared. And then the last one that we've got there, again, like we had established earlier, it's actually the 20 that is going to be the height of this shape when you've ended up tilting it where this side here will be perfectly horizontal, that will be the height of the 20. So that means it'll be 20 times 45, which will be 900 centimeters squared. Okay, so continuing on, when we get down to 2 down here, 2a, it says estimate, but I'm just going to give you the proper values because estimating is not going to be that useful when it actually comes to calculating proper areas. Like I can say that 3.2 times 3.2 is going to be 9 and point something, but we might as well just work it out properly. It's going to be 3.2 times 3.2, so 3.2 squared, and that will get you 10.24 meters squared. Same goes here, length times height, 8.2 times 4.7, and you should get 38.54 centimeters squared. For triangle, half base times height gets you the answer. And the reason why it's height is because if it was base times height, then that gets you the area as if it's a rectangle. But as you can see, we've pretty much got half a rectangle, hence the half. Okay, so if you do 120.5 times by 111.32, you end up getting an answer of 6707.03. Just going to check that. Divided by 2. Yep, that's fine. Perfectly fine. Okay, now for D, it's all it's going to be is pi r squared. R obviously will be half of this because radius is half of diameter. Half of 4.8 is 2.4. So pi times 2.4 squared, and that should get you an answer of 18.1 meters squared. Over here, same as before, we've just got our crooked rectangles. We've just got to straighten it up. It's going to be 0.8 high, 1.3 across. 0.8 times 1.3 will end up getting you 1.04 kilometers squared. And for the last one here, half base times height, 52 and a half times 29.1. That should get you your answer. I'll just type that in, 52.5 times half times 29.1, and you should get 763.875 equals 763.875 centimeters squared. So there's the answers for those. Just let me know if you've got any questions about it in the